Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is time for today's episode of Books and Besties. I am your co-host, Dr. Angie B, and I'm thrilled to be here. I really, really am. We've got some wonderful guests lined up today. These guests are coming in from all across the country, and I'm just really excited to be able to talk with them, learn about them, and to ask them your questions. So if you have a question or a comment on the show today, please feel free to send a text message to 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. We'll also accept your prayer requests. So again, if you've got questions or comments, use the number that is now scrolling at the bottom of the screen, 407-914-6519. Well, Books and Besties is not what it is without my co-host. Avalon Brown is ready to come on in, and I'm thrilled that she and I can do this together. We can work on this together. So come on in, Avalon. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone out there?
I know I'm fine, and you looking wonderful today. I love your hair. Oh, yes.
Yes, thanks to my granddaughters. It's good to have granddaughters. You don't have to pay.
I tell you, this is the day the Lord has made. I'm rejoicing and I'm glad about it. And I hope that you are too. So we've got a nice little lineup today. And before we get started, I just want to make one quick announcement about a new show that starts the first Sunday in April. It's called A Conversation with Mama. So I'm going to play this video clip so you can learn a little bit more about the show. A Conversation with Mama is a series of episodes that discuss different topics that are important to you. Standing on God's Word and the Scripture as found in Proverbs 31:26. Now it's time for today's episode of A Conversation with Mama.
Amen. So, Mama, you wanted to say something else in regards to going through the process.
Yeah.
You wanted to read some text?
Yes, I want to read something because going through the process, 1 Peter 3:15,
okay,
he encouraged believers to be prepared to explain and defend their faith with gentleness and respect when they come out of or when they go through the process. And so I just want to say that living a holy life, scriptures call for believers to live a life that reflects their faith and pleasing God.
That is our newest show that's coming up on Sunday, April 6th. Brand new show featuring Tina Batten and Dr. Hawkins. A Conversation with Mama is produced by Sister Batten Productions and Angie B Productions, and I'm excited to introduce it to you. So we'll hear more from them later on in the show today. And I'm just excited. A brand new show every week, every Sunday at 3:00 p.m. Conversation with Mama. Mm-hmm. All right. You got any special announcements you want to make, Avalon? Any book signings or what's going on?
Well, in June the 7th, I believe it is, I will be at the Children's Festival in Roselle at the Roselle Sports Center. I'm currently working on a nursing book called A Guide for Nurses to Cope with Patient Loss. I'm also working on my mom and dad's book, putting their story together. And anything else that come, I still have to do my oldest grandchildren books. So there's a lot of things going on in my head.
We just got to get them down on paper. That's all.
Yeah,
Just got
yes,
to get them down on paper. Oh my goodness. And we also enjoyed the first day of spring. I think that was yesterday or a couple days ago. So I know in Florida we got a whole lot of pollen everywhere. I don't know what's going on with you, but how's the weather where you are?
it was a quite chilly spring day yesterday. The
Mhm.
temperature had dropped to like 38. After being in the 50s, it went back down for a minute.
Oh,
So, yes, that's the type of spring day we had. First day of spring.
yep, first day of spring, and I know I got a niece in Michigan that's on spring break this week coming up. So I'm hoping that they've got some decent weather so she can hang out a little
Yeah.
bit.
The good thing about it is almost cherry blossom time. That's a big
Oh,
thing here. Yes.
really?
Yes, that's a big thing. It only stays around for the month of April, so you got to catch it. It's so beautiful. The whole park is like cherry blossoms. Certain streets have cherry blossoms, but it's really beautiful. So it's cherry blossom season. People come by the bus loads from different states just to see these cherry blossoms. I'll make
Wow.
sure I'll send some pictures.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now tell everybody again what city and state you're in.
I am in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay, cherry blossoms in Newark. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see pictures.
Branchburg Park. That's the biggest park in Newark. That's where they hold the festival.
Nice. Cherry Blossom Festival. I tell you. Right now in Jacksonville, Florida, we got pollen. It gets so thick that when you go outside to your car, it's covered in yellow. Just so the car
Wow.
wash company just eats it all up. You got to get your car washed, and you got pollen on it and everything. And but we're not complaining because once it starts blooming, it'll be beautiful. It'll be
Yes.
beautiful. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I got a chance to sit down with Shavonda, and she told us a little bit about her book and what she's doing. So I'm gonna be able to play that video in just a little bit. We've got Angel Shaw that is joining us, and we're gonna bring her in just a moment to talk about her latest project. So, how did we meet Angel? Avalon, do you remember?
No, I'm not sure. I think she's new to me. She's new
Okay,
to me. I think you know her.
okay. Well, Angel, we're thrilled to have you, and we're going to bring you on camera right now. She looks adorable. Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
Just the prettiest smile ever. Mhm.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you ladies doing?
Good morning. We're good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me here today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you send out a press release on Black PR?
Well, my
That's,
marketing person did, yes.
yep, that's how we found out about you. I love blacknews.com and Black PR. I get
Mhm.
their press releases and I'm like, oh, let's talk to Sister Shaw.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to be here.
Uh,
Yes.
thank you, dear. So tell everybody your name and what city and state you're in.
Yeah, my name's Angel Shaw. I am in Dallas, Texas. Yes, born
Mm,
and raised in the great state of Texas.
mm.
Born and raised, yes. I have a virtual practice that I'm based here in the DFW area, but I have clients all over Texas. So,
Nice,
yes,
nice.
ma'am.
I have friends in Mansfield, Texas,
Okay,
and
yeah.
so I visited them about a year and a half ago. It seems like, and yeah, the weather feels like Florida with no humidity. I love.
Yes,
Wow.
well, I'm in North Texas, so if you go down further south, like Houston area, you're gonna get that Florida humidity.
Yep, yep, and the hurricanes. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and
Mhm.
flooding.
Oh my.
We're more prone to the tornadoes up here, closer to the Panhandle.
Wow.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm, mhm.
it's been very weird and unseasonably warm for this time of year, and
Really?
especially in February. Yes, February is usually our coldest month, where it's more ice and less snow, but more ice and like our 20 degree. We had a week in February; it was 80 degrees.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
and then the week before it was 30. The next week it was 80. That's Texas. You just never know. You have to be prepared. You just prepared
oh
because you just never know.
my word. I tell you, just got to keep rolling with the punches.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
tell me about your therapist career.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
what does that encompass?
So I am a licensed professional counselor. So I've been doing this for almost 10 years, about 10 years now. I've had my practice for 7. I started actually out as a teacher working with kids in school and then became a school counselor. And just working in schools, you see just a lot of needs outside of the classroom. And so that's kind of how really what interested me in counseling, knowing that I wanted to do something beyond that. So getting into the therapy space and working with adults to me just felt so much more of a fit. And knowing that I wanted to help the parents and help the adults that were influencing the kids and what was going on. So I started working in some mental health agencies. I worked in the hospital and getting a lot of training and helping people that were dealing with other things, the depression, anxiety, stress. And now I see mostly people dealing with stress management, relational issues is really my specialty and focus. So I see
Mm.
individuals, couples, dealing a lot with this relational distress because,
Mm,
as we see in society, just the breakdown of family structure and just how that is affecting us as a whole. So that's really my passion is helping people have healthy relationships and dealing with the stressors that come in life that can sometimes affect and influence that. So
mm.
it's been a joy for me. It fuels me. I have my friends like, I don't see how you do this all day and every
Right. That's a
day.
question. Mm-hmm.
How do you do this? They have one issue. Somebody's coming to them talking to them about something. How do you do this all day? It really is just a joy for me. It's a passion for me to see people have that light bulb moment, to see
Right.
people experience some progress in their life, to see couples that are turning to each other and having those intimate, transformative moments when it's been so tense and so so much just negativity between them, and now they're coming back and smiling, they're sitting closer together, so it's just so rewarding for me, and I just love it.
Yeah. I have a
Yeah.
question. Okay. Listening to all of like so many people bringing their problems and
Hmm.
talking about their mental issue. How do you
Hmm.
keep that separated from affecting you?
Yeah, I really feel like, I always say this: God has graced me to do this because I think all of my life I have always been in this role for people. Even before I became a counselor, I was always this person for friends. I've always been the person people came to. And I feel like I just have been given this capacity to do it. And I think now when I'm recognizing that, I'm very protective of my energy and my self. And so I'm very mindful of my space, and who I allow, in my space. I'm very mindful of what I'm doing to care for myself so that I have that focus and energy to give to other people. So that's something that's been helpful for me. I'm making sure that I do my best to set boundaries with people. And the
Okay.
people closest to me, they're usually, when they're calling me, okay, do you have the capacity for this right now? When they want to talk to me about something, do you have the capacity for this right now? And I'll call you back later. Or, okay, we can talk about this later. Or, yes, I do, because like I said, when you're doing what you feel purpose to do, to me, it doesn't feel like a burden. I think also what's helped me is because I have a virtual practice, it doesn't feel as heavy to me than being
Okay.
in person.
Yeah,
Because I've
make a
worked,
difference.
I've worked at an agency, I've worked at a hospital where I was seeing clients face to face. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing 6 people face to face where you're in a space with someone, and so that energy with them, from their stuff, and then with you, it does feel a lot different than having the
Mm-hmm.
distance of being online and having the video. Is just as
Right,
powerful
right.
and impactful, but being in the same space is different. So I
Different.
think that
Mm.
also helps
Yeah,
because
I can see
I
that.
have friends who have, they do both, and we've talked about that. It's a difference with that as well.
Mm.
Angel, I suggest you get in touch with Avalon and be a part of her new book. She's working on another book about nurses that deal with the deaths of their parents. And
Mm,
so that topic, what you've described,
mm,
I think it would be Avalon. I don't want to just put anybody in your book, but it, yeah, sounds like
Yeah, it's to help the nurses cope with the
yeah.
loss of their patients because some
Mhm,
nurses are not as strong as others.
mhm,
Like, I mean, me, I can deal with it, but I have seen coworkers that, really break down. But I've done it once, but not around the patient. I was at
mhm,
home after I heard about a particular patient. But then
mhm.
there's some nurses that really get so deep into it that, it stays on their mind.
Yeah. That's that compassion fatigue, is what that's called. And it happens with first responders, which that would kind of fit in that category. And there are therapists who specialize in working with, our police officers, firefighters, our medical professionals who are on the front lines dealing with death because,
Have you had
we're
to
still
deal with
human.
any?
I haven't had any patient loss or
No,
client
I
loss.
mean like medical professionals
Oh,
who you
medical
had to
professionals.
talk to.
I've had some nurses. I've had um, I've had nurses. I've had some doctors. I've had some like nurse practitioners. I've had firefighters. I've had police officers. I feel like I've had police officers, as well, either present or even in the past as well. They were not
So with
present,
the
but they've had in the past. And I think for a lot of them, it it becomes more of a trauma.
okay,
It's more trauma focused, and so that's why I say there's a lot of therapists who are specialized in that because it's very much like military, it's combat. And I think a lot of people, when we think of PTSD, we automatically think military, and
right,
combat. And there's so many other areas where we can experience PTSD. The
yeah,
trauma of having someone die on your table or die, right in front of you, or going to a crime scene, and seeing,
right,
a dead body right in front of you, or, being a nurse, or, all of those things. Sometimes even clergy, when you're called to, someone's home whose loved one,
hmm,
has just passed in their home. And, or you may be there when it happens. So, funeral people who work in the funeral industry, you know,
PTSD.
that's that's
yeah,
the same type of thing where you're around death and loss. And so I think there's people who have a a strength in dealing with it, because we all grieve and we all manage things differently. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
capacity is different,
Yes.
so that's why we need grace for people. We all have different capacities for
Absolutely.
things, and we care for ourselves in different ways. And we're just, that's just the humanness of all of us. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there's times in sessions I've cried, with patients or right after a session because of the weight of what someone's dealing with, especially when I worked at a mental health agency, because I had clients who not only were dealing with mental health issues, a lot of them were dealing with, socioeconomic stuff. They were dealing with medical issues, and it's a lot. Past traumas. I mean, it's a lot when you've got so many things to overcome and you
Mm-hmm.
have no idea where to start and what to do, and you hear heartbreaking stories of people and you don't know how in the world they're sitting in front of you
Right.
at all,
Right.
when some of us with a minor inconvenience we're ready to fall apart. So
No, that's for sure. That's for
you
sure.
know so it definitely is something that is very much needed when you look at those specific populations and working with them and helping people to cope. Because when you go, especially I've worked for a hospital, so it was very interesting experience because you get to see things from a different lens, and there's certain things
Mm-hmm.
that being in that field is what's expected.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes from upper administration, there's not as much empathy because it's like, this is what you signed up for,
Right.
Yes.
type of
That's
thing,
what I wanted to
kind of
ask.
attitude. That's
Yes.
kind of the attitude. This is what you
Yeah.
signed up for. If you go to school to be a doctor or a nurse, this is you're gonna have somebody die at some point. Like, this is what you signed
Right.
up for.
Yeah.
But
And
not
so there's
even sorry, but not even so much death. Do you think, like, since you've been around the nurses, the
mhm,
fact that we have to carry a certain persona about ourselves, we have to
Yes.
be, this strong person at work all the time when you're dealing with the patients, and even though you have to hold a lot of things in, do you think talking to them, some of that breakdown comes from that? And like you said, with Matt, you come in, you deal with the patients, you deal with your coworkers, you deal with management, and
yeah,
you have to keep a certain professionalism about yourself while you dealing with all this. And at
Right.
some point, there have been times when I have went home and maybe cried, but when I'm at work, it's like you won't see me. You're gonna see this
right,
strong person. Whatever you throwing at me, I'm going to be this
Mm-hmm.
person that, nobody's going to see how it's affecting me. And then when you
yeah,
go home and think about it, it do affect you when
Mm-hmm.
you go home, but you don't want, do you think some of that,
yeah,
you've seen nurses, like I have never broke down, like mentally really, but I
Mm-hmm.
might have gone home and cried, but then the next day I'm okay, but everybody isn't like that. That's why I
yeah,
think now you have nurses leaving because they can't
Yes.
deal with that.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you're working what, a 12-hour shift, going from patient to patient, to patient for 12 hours. And this is the thing about our lives. It's not just one facet. It's not just one area. Most people have many different areas of life. You have work, you got, family responsibility. If you're married, you have a spouse. If you have kids, you have children, if you're involved in other things. So it's not just one area of life that may be causing some level of stress.
Understood.
So, it's not just this one thing that we have going on that affects us.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, a lot of people are headed, towards breakdown
Mm-hmm.
when you're dealing with that. I think was it last year? It seemed I was getting so many clients that were taking FMLA because of work.
Hmm.
It was
I
it
can
was
see
it
that.
seemed like client after client after client. They were at the point of either getting ready to take FMLA or they were on FMLA
Mm-hmm.
because of work. They were just overloaded and overwhelmed with
Right.
that. And when you're working and having these high demands, put on you, there's only so much our bodies are not designed to carry that.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
And so when you look at people in, positions like this where you're just having to, keep going, you just keep going and just, go from this patient, and I think that's why a lot of people appreciate nurses who are very, kind and are, personable and loving towards their
Right.
loved ones, because you're already in a scary situation. If somebody's in the hospital, you don't know what can happen. That's
Mm-hmm.
already a scary situation. So to have someone who's empathetic, who's caring for your loved one in the hospital and being kind and genuine to them that
Right.
way, that's what you want.
Wow. I got it.
And yeah.
All right, ladies, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk briefly about your book, and then our next guests are ready. Michael D. Scott is here and Pastor Rock are here, and we'll bring them in to be a part of the conversation as soon as we get back. We'll be right back with more Books and Besties, everybody. A word from the author, A Father's Daughter by LaCarol Lynn Brock. As you read this story, it is my desire for you to understand a few things. No matter who you are, what you've done, or where you have been, as long as you have breath in your body, you are still redeemable. The King of Glory will always accept you rather than throw you away. A Father's Daughter.
What is my name? My name is Michael Douglas Scott. I've had chronic pain for the past 15 years. As I age, I get more pains. I have degenerative arthritis. I have basically 14 different medications, and they range from sleep apnea, trazodone, to ibuprofen, to meloxicam, to gabapentin, these are pain medications, about 6 different pain medications, medications to go to sleep. And I learned about immune support through Ernest Warren. He's a real good friend of mine. Do something, and he wanted to know how it made me feel. But it made me feel like a young boy again, and it caused me to be feeling full of life, full of energy. When I took the super immune support, I saw results the second day. Several friends who really wonder what the heck's gotten into me, because I'm jumping all over the place. I catch the bus and the train. I drive my van to the train station and use the stairs. And every chance, all day, I'm jumping up and down and doing push-ups, not push off the walls, jumping jacks, just full of energy. I've lost 25 pounds since December the 5th. I want to tell the world. I'll stand on the mountaintop and tell the world how good this stuff is on me. It takes care of me. My name is Michael D. Scott, and I take super immune support, beta glucan, and I think you should too.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60-minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386
385 4483.
We appreciate our sponsors and those that watch the show and support the show. We couldn't be here every Saturday from 11 to 1 if we didn't have support. And so we want to thank you for that. Shout out to Naisha Wilkins. She says, good morning, everyone. And it looks like we have quite a few viewers that are watching us from facebook.com, Angie B Productions. So we appreciate you for watching. Angie B Productions specializes in producing audiobooks, commercials, like 90% of the ones that you're going to see on the show today. We also schedule and plan book signing events. And I'm going to bring in Avalon as well. Hey, good morning again, Bestie.
But I'm back. Here I am.
Yep, and we're going to bring in Angel for a quick minute. Angel, tell us about your book and how we can get a copy of it.
Yes, ma'am. So I have written a book called From Heartbreak to Hope, A Journey Beyond Divorce. And this is a guide for anyone who has gone through divorce, no matter how long it has been, or who is currently going through divorce and just struggling to find some hope and healing through the process. This is a guide for people who are looking to get some hope and to know what steps they can take in moving through the process. In it, I share some personal experiences of how I recovered through my own divorce experience, and also just some words of wisdom from my clinical experience through what it takes to manage the emotions that we go through, how to discover the patterns that we have that sometimes lead us into unhealthy relationships, and how to navigate moving forward and creating a new life for yourself so that you know that this is not the end. That even though we go through heartbreaking things, it's not the end of our life, and we can still move forward with peace and joy.
Oh my goodness. A guide.
Yes.
I need a copy. I need
And it's also a journaling as well. In each chapter, there's a portion of self-reflection to journal your thoughts as you're reading through each chapter of how you resonate with what was written and how you can move forward
That
with some
sounds
encouragement
wonderful.
as well.
How can
Yeah.
everybody get in contact with you and get a copy of your book?
You can visit my website and order your copy right on my website at heartsoflightcc.com.
It sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we'd love to have you stay on the show for just a little bit while we bring in our next two guests. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the next gentleman that's coming up. I've been playing his commercial for such a long time. I feel like I know him now. I feel like I know. So Michael D. Scott. So we're gonna bring you in, Michael. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you? God bless you.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that the DFC market had something for you. And so we've also got Pastor Rock waiting. So we're going to bring him in as well. Good morning, Pastor. Good morning. Oh, I think your microphone is muted. Let me see. Yeah. There you go. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Now, Pastor Rock, how did you get involved with the DFC market?
Ooh, I go back to Lord. Oh God, I go back from almost the beginning.
Really?
And yes, ma'am. Some of the other products, but the 500 when it first came out, I can tell you a lot about the 5. When the 5 came out, and Minister Warren told me, he said, "Man, this 500, you need to try it." And I said, "Okay, let me try it." I took one pill at night, and I was on my knees. I don't know what happened. I fell asleep on my knees.
Ooh.
So I got up that morning, and I had to take this little boy to school. And I said, "Let me take another one." I don't know what happened last night. So I took him to school. I came back, and it wasn't long, about 45 minutes at the most. I felt the energy, a urge. So I went to the front door, looked down the street. I ain't know to run, jump, or go play basketball or what. I'm like, where does energy come from? I'm talking about energy. I'm 67. And I'm saying, Lord Jesus, I'm not a lazy person, but this is a rush. And I mean a big rush. So I got on the phone and called him. I said, hey, Ernest. I said, man, whatever this stuff you gave me, man, I got so much energy. I don't know to run, jump. I don't know to go play basketball. I don't even know what to do. And I'm like, and I sit in the chair. I said, God, where this stuff come from? This is some crazy stuff. And as I was sitting down talking to myself and God, I'm like, I ain't never had nothing like this. What a rush. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. I still don't know what to do. I'm beside myself. I'm sitting in the chair thinking, what should I do with this energy? Don't know what to do. So I said, let me go cook some. Let me go clean up. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. Let me go do this. I'm finding stuff to do. And I'm going like, man, this is crazy. So I went to work, but I ordered the hundreds. And we do construction, concrete and asphalt. The 100 didn't do what the 5 did. So I told Ernest, I said, man, give me some more of them 5. Just order me a ball. And so we swinging that hammer every day, a 16-pound hammer. We swinging it. Everybody said, man, you the oldest one out here, and you swinging that hammer like it ain't nothing. I said, man, you don't want to know my secret. Leave me alone. And everybody asking me questions, different guys, different race, coming up to me, asking me in my face, hey man, how you stay out here, man? This hot sun, and you ain't passing out, and we got this hot torch on this asphalt. I said, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. So I told a few people. I ain't tell everybody. And one of the guys I really wanted to start on it, he was scared of it. So I said, well, don't worry about it. So I brought it into the church, and I tried it on one of my little friends. She's an older lady, older than me. And she said, ooh, I like this. So I talked to her the next day. She around the house cleaning up. I said, what you doing? She said, I'm cleaning up. She said, I got energy. I said, stop. She been in an accident, a car accident. I say, stop, leave it alone. Leave it alone and do your rehab. She said, I can't help it. I just got into washing clothes, cooking. She doing everything. And I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it done got her too. So I tried it on another friend. And he said, man, what is this? He just started talking. We was eating breakfast at our house. He just started talking, rambling. His wife sitting there, he wouldn't let her take one. He just rambled. I said, oh, the energy done kicked in now. He don't know what to do. He just started talking. I said, hey, man, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. He just talking. I said, man, slow down. What's wrong? I don't know. I just feel good. Now, he done forgot all about the pill. And I'm like, I'm looking at him and seeing all this energy. He don't know what to do with it. And I said, Lord, I got to find out what I'm going to do with it. So I said, okay, I'm going to take one in the morning, one at night, and we're going to see. Boy, it put me to sleep. And that next day, I had energy to break concrete, to stay out in the sun. Everybody kept talking. I said, man, we got something here. Well, man, whoever made this, he made something. I said, this is powerful here. I said, I got to run with this here. So I started giving people pills. I called my sister. I said, hey, look here. I got something. I'm going to send you in the mail. I told my son, send it to her. I want you to take this. Called my niece. She started taking. Friends, getting everybody 5, 6 people. I want to see their reaction. Everybody called me with praise report. And I'm like, I already know what it's going to do, give you the energy. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. So as gradually time went by, I finally retired. When I retired that last year, I said, okay, so I do my walk. I was at 12,000 steps, no lower than 10,000 steps a day. And I had energy out of this world. And I'm like, okay, let's see what else this thing will do. So we drove out of town and I took a pill. My focus was awesome. I could see the lines. I could see the road. Black as that road is, I could see in the dark. I like, okay, it's trying to help my eye. I said, I'm going to make for sure. So I had an eye appointment with the eye doctor. And I think she was kind of leery of me at my age, and she's seeing my report from 2021, and I just did eye doctor 2025 with her. And when I read the chart, put my hand on my eye, I read down to line 8, and I ain't did that, and God knows when.
Oh,
And she wasn't amazed. You know how some people ain't gonna give you credit. So the other little assistant nurse, she came and she said, "Hey, you can see good." I said, "I don't know who you talking to, girl. I don't know how I read that stuff." And so I went through all the eye tests and she looked at my chart from 2021, where it was worse, and my eyes were worse. So it made my eyes better. I had a little more clarity, I could see better, clear. And I go like, okay. I said, when I went and got my glasses, and she said, well, I need to see you. I still need to see you again. And I'm saying, me see me? She said, well, I need to refer you to one of the specialists. So she's looking from 2021 to 2025. So it's unexplainable how the eye can increase. So I was driving one day, this around November, around November. And I'm driving in traffic, and I had an eye accident a long time ago when I was about 19, and that my eye never healed. Because back then they had the technology they have now, and I had cut my eyeball, and my eye always hurt when glare. If I see glare for windshield or glare for water, it'll hurt. A sharp pain will come through my eye. So I noticed that the pain wasn't there no more. I'm driving in traffic, and I'm looking at glare on the windows, and I ain't putting no shades on. I said, well, what done happened? Something done happened. Then I thought about it. I said, okay, the 500, I'm taking 2 a day. Then I cut back to 1 a day, and I stayed on 1 a day. Then I cut back to 1, like 5 days and 2 days take off. I just want to see what it do, what it don't do. But I found out it will allow you to rest, but it also allow you to restore. The rest that you take, it restores you to a point where you have energy that you can't explain. It's hard to explain it. And I went and shot basketball. I just said, I'm gonna go out here and just shoot. And I said, I'm running and running and running. I said, oh man, I feel good. I feel real good. So I said, well, I'm preaching. I preach real hard, and I got energy. And I said, man, that's some nice energy. And I said, well, okay, Lord. I was seeing like little blurs on the side of my eye that I had an accident with. It's like them pom-poms, them people be shaking chili shake.
yeah.
Stripes, like, and I be seeing the stripes gone. And I'm like, what happened to the stripe? But now I had to go back to think what I'm taking. I said, the
You're taking
500
super immune support.
Yes, and they working in me. And then God dealing with me about, I give man knowledge to help us live longer. And I'm thinking, because I don't take anything and everything. And because I depend on God for everything. And I'm like, God, this is really powerful. So I called Mr. Ernst. I said, man, look here, you got something here. I said, you really got a product that work. I said, I don't care what nobody else tell you, put my name on it.
Minister Ernest, you said?
Put my name. Ma'am?
You said his name, Minister Ernest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And I say, put my name on it, because Pastor Rock ain't gonna lie. And I'm like, okay, I'm still on it. And I'm like, what is this? So my friend had an accident, and the back of her back was hurting. The tissue, she had hurt tissues. So she called me. She said, now, when I was taking the 500, I felt good. She said, I ain't had none in 3 days. I could tell the difference. I said, well, I'll get you some more. I ordered some more. They were a little late coming. And she was steady calling me. Finally got it. I said, here your super pill. Here you go. Because I know how it is. If you stay off of it, you can tell the difference. It's a boost. If you ever, I never was an energy drink person. And, like some people take Red Bull to get a boost. This give you a boost that it kind of sneaky in its own way, because you'll forget about that you took the pill. Because ain't no side effect. You don't get dizzy and nauseous, no diarrhea, none of that stuff. And because I watch, when I take something, I watch and I try to find out what it's going to do to me. So when I talk, I'm telling you what it do to me. And I'm like, okay. She say, ooh, I feel a whole lot better. She say, I just, and then I be trying to help her walk. She said, leave me alone. She got a cane. She walking fast. I see you walking too fast. Slow down, slow down. Then she get offended. And I say, hey, if you fall, then it's on my watch. So I try to watch over, because she the only older person in my church. And and I was with her last night and she just gone. She said, you ain't got to walk me to the door. She got a cane, got the phone. I said, hey, oh Lord Jesus, what am I doing with her? So I got a son. I said, son, watch over her for me, please. When you go get her, help her to the car. Get the pocketbook. The pocketbook weigh 10 pounds. That helps her to balance. That pocketbook ain't helping to balance because she's leaning over with the pocketbook. And I say, Lord have mercy, what I'm gonna do with her? I don't know what to do with her.
Pastor Rock, I am so excited about your testimony, but I think Michael D. Scott is just as excited because he just nodding his head like he can relate to everything you talking about. Michael, I want you to know I'm your biggest fan. I've been looking at you doing jumping jacks and pull-ups and jumping off walls and everything. And so it is a pleasure to meet you, sir.
The pleasure is all mine. It's all mine. Thank you. Thank you. I got that kind of energy. That's what it does to you. It's infectious.
Wow.
Because I used to have arthritis. I used to have chronic arthritis. And I'll be 73 years old in August. And for the past several months, 7 or 8 months, I've been taking super immune support. And it has truly changed my life. It gives me energy that sometimes is scary, And just like Pastor Rock said, when I take it at night, my body is just generating, it's fixing things. And so in the morning when I get up, I'm ready to go. I am ready to go. I'm a caregiver for 83-year-old 6'3" amputee. And I've been taking care of him for the past 2.5 years, living in his house, a 4-bedroom house with 15 steps, 14 steps, one landing. And to take care of him, I know I needed to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And so I met Mr. Warren through a friend, and he turned me on to that super immune support. And I felt like I was basically pretty healthy, but by me having chronic arthritis and pains, I'm a Vietnam Desert Storm veteran. So I've had pain for a long time. And I was taking 14, 15 medications from the VA. And it bothered me because one always had adverse reaction to the next one. And they were driving me crazy. And so I started taking that super immune support, and it changed me. It's made me just full of energy, mental clarity. I have mental clarity. So I was able to take care of my client as well, better than I could, take care of myself. I'm up and down the stairs every day. I have to cook for him, clean for him, and that's a 4-bedroom house, So, and he's from Panama. He feels a little bit privileged sometimes. I ought to have this and I ought to have that. So it helped my attitude, change my attitude. Caused me to go from walking up and down the steps to running up and down the steps. And I have flat feet. My flat feet don't let me do nothing. So I've been taking this, and so I started walking through the neighborhood. When I had a chance to walk through the neighborhood, I'd increase my mileage from 3 miles to 5 miles. So I was getting at least 5 to 7 miles a day just in the neighborhood.
Wow.
And I would go shopping. I shop for him something. It got to a point where I could help him, train him to put on his prostheses. And we stayed out late, doing a whole lot of shopping because he loved to get out of the house. And he's 83 years old, so he's been in that house 25 years since. So since I've been there, he let me know that he just didn't do anything. He's a diabetic, and that's why he lost his leg. And we both were Air Force veterans. So and when I used to cut his hair and give him pedicures, and when he lost his leg, they said that while he was in rehab, he was going to have to go to a nursing home, if nobody was there in his house to live, and I couldn't handle that. So that's when I went ahead and took the certification. So I'm a nationally certified caregiver and paid by the week. So I moved into his house. You know, like I said, he would rather have me move into his house. So I did that. The job came from God because it's kind of hard to care for another grown man.
Mm.
I wasn't really for it. You know, that first month he drove me crazy.
Mm.
Me knowing that it come from God, and I didn't, it was going to be a worth something to do. And so my attitude changed. We got to be amigos, as he said, because he's from Panama, and he's also teaching me Spanish. So he said,
Oh,
we're not amigos, we're hermanos. And I said, okay.
oh.
So I said, yeah, I got to upgrade. So that was good. And taking care of somebody lets you know. I thought we had, he was difficult. I find that we have more similarities than differences. So, we do have to care for a guy every day. It makes me think a lot better. So I decided to go to school because I've been a manicure pedicure specialist since 1980. And so I lost my license. So I went to get my license reinstated. So that was a 6-month training. So back in December, I started going to school. And I noticed my energy level picked up greatly because I drove to after driving to Sandy Springs. I don't know if you know where Sandy Springs is. From College Park to Sandy Springs is an hour and a half drive.
Michael, are you in Atlanta?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I drove to the MARTA train station in College Park, which is near the airport, and caught the train. No stress, no hassle. So every time I got to the train station, I went, instead of catching the escalator, I would walk and run up and down the steps because it gave me so much energy, I had to burn it off because I knew once I get to school, I'm going to be sitting at that manicuring table most of the day, up and down, but most of the time sitting down doing nails and pedicures. So I used the MARTA station as a gymnasium. So 4 days a week, that was my gymnasium. I went up and down. I would do squats. I'd bounce off the walls and do, because I know it felt good and I had to burn it off. And I enjoy the looks that I get from other people. Look at this old man looking like what's wrong with him, But it felt so good, it felt so good to do the right thing, treat my body better, I was in class, when I got to class, I was in class with from 10 to 20 women, because everybody graduated, they had a certain time they graduate. And I had a lot of energy, and I had more energy than anybody in there. A 72-year-old man, the youngest girl was 17 years old. And so I felt real comfortable because I've been giving manicures and pedicures all these years, 45 years. And so I just felt like they were my competition. But God still had me able to paint a fingernail and a toenail and paint a design on it. So I got excited. Yeah, so I got excited. I won first prize, blew my mind. I won first prize. We had a competition for Easter, doing Easter designs. And I beat 14 women. That was a good feeling. That was really a good feeling. The school, I had gone to the school before to become a massage therapist. That's where behind me, my massage table and all my nail products. And I turned my second bedroom into a salon.
Nice.
So after I lived with him for a year, I had to get my own place because it was things I couldn't do in his house. So
Understood.
And so out of respect, and so
Michael, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you think brings the energy in? Is it caffeine? Is it caffeine or what do you think it is?
The energy level that I get, the energy comes from the plant-based products. These are plants and roots. Everything is natural. Everything and super immune support is natural.
Okay.
Nothing, not like nothing else, nowhere. It just gives you mad energy, and I don't even question it. You know, everybody wants to ask me what's in it. I said, well, you don't ask the doctor when he's giving you them COVID shots what's in it, you know, so why would you ask me? It's plant-based. Understand what plant-based means. It's natural. Because the medications were fighting each other inside my body, they cause more problems. You have side benefits with super immune support. Side benefits, not side effects. My eyes have gotten clear.
Really?
I've been wearing glasses since I was 6 years old. And I went to the eye doctor last week, and to get some contact lenses. And he said, you know, your eyes have gotten, you know, instead of -7, it was -6.5.
Really?
Yeah, because when we talk about it, me and Minister Warren and Pastor Rock, we talk about the effects, the things that's happening. You know, it heals his eye. Many people have said that it heals their eyes. You know, that vision got better. I get much better sleep. And since I'm feeling so good, I don't. I stopped looking at TV all night. I go in there and turn the TV off and lay down and start counting, and I'm gone.
Wow.
That's
So you're both taking the 500 milligram of super immune support?
Yes. I started taking the 100 milligram, but then I said my workload was so heavy taking care of him and going to school. I decided to try the 5 because Pastor Rock was talking about the 5s. And I said, let me go ahead and try this 5. It's a game changer. I've never had such a great quality of life. It's just wonderful. When you feel good, when I feel good, I want to do good. I want to eat right. I need to eat right, and I need to fast. So I don't eat after 6, and I don't eat the next day until after 12. And I eat 1 meal a day, drink water, and eat salad or fruit. That's it. I've lost 40 pounds doing this.
Oh,
I've lost 40 because I've had carried a pot belly, for 20 years.
yeah.
So, when I'm doing right, it's such a good feeling. I want to do everything right. I even had athlete foot. And I got my athlete foot and toenail fungus fixed. I've just changed my life for the better. I said I want to be everybody ought to feel this good at 72 years old.
Oh my goodness, Mike.
Last week I bought a pair of roller skates.
Oh no, he did.
I'm an old Detroit roller skater. I'm from Detroit and we used to roller skate. It's amazing because it makes me want to do the things that I did when I was 20 years old. And, people ask me why, and I say, why not? I'm feeling it. My bones are strong. I'm healthy. I'm living right. I've gotten things under control, and I'm my spirituality intact. I love positive affirmations. I give them all day long, and I receive them all day long. I look at Denzel on YouTube too, and he's awesome. He makes me think real hard. The things that come out of my mouth, and like I said, my mileage is increased. I walk more. I go swimming. I love to swim.
My goodness.
And I'm all over the place. When I leave, I take care of him. When I got some free time, I'm all over the place. They love me. I love them at LA Fitness and Planet Fitness. And we're around the LA Fitness by my client's house, and there's a Planet Fitness right up the street from me. It's a mile walk, and I don't even drive. I'll walk there and come back. So, and I have to do that at night before I go to bed because I got so much energy, I can't hardly sleep. And I refuse to look at TV because that's going to cause me to be up, So, DFCmarket.com has changed my life. They have changed my life, and I give it to everybody that people ask me. Pastor Rock gives to his congregation, and I give to my friends because I have a lot of people that I give manicures to, pedicures to, and massage therapy, and I have to be in shape to do this.
Yes.
So I make sure that I'm in the best shape I can be.
That is
And
wonderful, Michael. These testimonies are so encouraging. Avalon, I can only imagine if some of your patients, as you were a nurse for all those years, or some of your patients have been on this product, if their quality of life could have improved. And definitely, I was on the 100 for about a month, and I do admit that I was feeling much better. And I just ran out last week, and I'm back to taking a nap in the middle of the day. So I need to get some more. I need to bump up to the 500. But oh my goodness. Well, gentlemen, I am so grateful that you came on to share the testimony. I don't want you to leave. We got a little bit of information we want to share, and we're going to do that, and we'll be right back.
okay.
Please allow us to introduce you to one of the graduates of our YEP program.
Hi, I'm Sandra B. I live in Michigan. And yep, I'm an author.
YEP, Youth Entrepreneur Author Program. Our goal is to initiate literacy in students and lead them to entrepreneurship through authorship. Our mission is to identify and invite organizations to participate in this program. Students participate in virtual writing workshops where they are encouraged to write their stories and provide reviews of stories read. We ask you to support our youth. For a donation of only $50, your company or organization will be mentioned as a youth supporter in the next audiobook. Send an email to yepI'mAnAuthor@gmail.com to provide a scholarship for a young person to participate.
Yep, I'm an author.
Proceeds are accepted and disbursed by Angie B. Productions. And now, these students are authors and entrepreneurs. Follow us online. Just search for Yep, I'm an Author on Facebook. Use the hashtag Yep, I'm an Author. Or call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519 for more information. This program is sponsored in part by Angie B. and Barty Productions.
Yep, I'm an author.
Compelled to the highways and byways, Luke 14:23. Angie B. presents the 2025 Acceptance Tour. Join us in Kingsland, Georgia, April 11th through the 13th. Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. Authors, workshops, health, wellness, shopping, and fun. Enjoy a movie presented by Sister Batten Productions. We'll be at 1313 East King Avenue in Kingsland, Georgia. For more information, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519.
I am excited about the Yep, I'm an Author program because we're working with students to help them express themselves by writing a book and being a part of an anthology where several students are sharing their thoughts on one or two particular topics. And so we're excited about that. If you have any students in your life that you know of, ask their parents to visit Yep, I'm an Author on Facebook, YEAP. Yep, I am an author, ANAUTHOR. Yep, I'm an author. And we would love to have them be a part of our spring break program and our summer program. So excited about that. Also excited about Angel Shaw. Angel, I'm gonna bring you back in for a second. I just listening to those testimonies from Super Immune Support. I was
I
thinking,
know. I was like, let me look this up.
no.
I was like, let me see what this is, because I
Yeah,
may need to invest in this. I'm always looking at natural products
yeah.
and especially vitamins, because I think one, I was just talking, I went to a networking event last night and I was talking to a nurse practitioner who practices like holistically. She's like, I do prescribe medication, but I always, look at holistic, sources, before that, unless people are like, truly in need. Um, so I was talking to her just with my clients. That's what I do that as well. I tell people I'm not a mid pusher, but unless that is a tool if needed, but let's look at some holistic natural things and behavioral changes first.
Yeah.
So just listening to that, I was like, oh, let me look this up, because
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
like to gather resources and things for clients and just even for myself,
Well,
because
I'm
there's a lot of things just in lifestyle habits
yes.
that we can change that will completely turn our health around.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you stayed to be able to meet Pastor Rock and Michael D. Scott. We're gonna bring my co-host back in here. Avalon, them are some powerful testimonies. Man, me and you need to get on that super immune support. I want to be running up and down the stairs.
I don't think I'm ready.
Don't think you're ready. Okay.
No.
And rollerblading and
I have
stuff.
no comment.
She's not ready yet. She's not ready for that
So
level.
I have no comment on it.
Well, Pastor Rock, I'm going to bring you back in. I'm bringing in Michael D. Scott again. Pastor, I want to thank you for your testimony. It was a bit funny. You talking about giving pills to everybody. I was going to ask you about that.
And something good, you want to spread it.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And I am also a prostate cancer survivor. I had my prostate removed in 2020. And for 2 years, I was pretty miserable. But when I got on that super immune support, it changed everything. That's a game changer, serious game changer. So I'm extremely grateful. The DFC market is something. Don't sleep on it. Please don't sleep on it. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You will not be sorry.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, each of you are invited to stick around. I've got Shavonda. I spent some time with Shavonda talking to her about what she's up to, and so we're going to play that video in just a second. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And Pastor Rock, what's the website again?
DFCmarket.com.
DFCmarket.com. And what city and state are you in, Pastor?
I'm in Jayville.
Are you?
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
down the street from me. I'm in Orange Park.
You better stay out of Orange Park. All I deal with ducks. That's it. I walk with my ducks. That's it. They be out here every day begging.
Yep, begging for something, I tell you. Okay, everybody, we're gonna check out what Shavonda has to say. Hey, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Books and Besties. I'm your host, Dr. Angie B., and I'm thrilled to have a brand new guest here on the show with us today. So we're going to get started with, I just want to give a prayer of thanks, because this is the day the Lord made. I'm rejoicing and I'm glad about it, and I'm thankful to be here on this day. So, all right, tell everybody your name and what city and state you live in.
Hi, my name is Shavonda, and I live in Los Angeles, California.
Ooh, Los Angeles. Well, you're nowhere near those wildfires that we heard about, or?
No, I'm not near there. I live like in Windsor Hills, so I'm in a lower part of Palisades area.
Okay, that's good. That'll work. That'll work.
Thank you for
So,
asking.
yes, definitely. Because, when you listen to the news, you never know. You never
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
Oh, tell us something special about what you've been up to lately.
Okay, well, I just came from the studio. I have a film coming out with my book, which Avalon probably told you is called Shavonna's Autobiography, pages from her documentary. So we're just doing the finishing touches on the film so that people can relate to the book and also the film to understand what's going on.
Wonderful. A film adaptation of your book. Oh, do you get to pick who are the actors in your film, and do you get to meet them? Who's going to play you? So many questions.
Well, actually, it's a low budget film, so I've been doing this all by myself. And because what happened, this was really a court case, and it turned
Hmm.
into a book. I also released a video called Shavonda's Letter to DA Gascon. It's about the book. It's not a political venue, but it's about the book and the struggles that I went through as a Black American trying to seek justice for us people of women and all of color.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. We continue to seek justice and for so many reasons. So many.
That's
So tell us.
correct. So what I'm sorry, I
Oh
don't mean
no.
to cut you off. So what started off was it was an illegal raid that came to my house on September 19th, 1999. And they didn't have a search warrant. They just came into my house, busted my door down. I was nine months pregnant, threw me down on the ground. I filed,
Ooh.
charges against them because I never had an issue with the police before. So I let them come in, search. They didn't find anything. And I reported it. Then I went to the internal affairs and I sued them. And it became a book. And so all I'm seeking is just justice for us as a people, because I guess they just thought of who I was, the color of my skin, and who I was associated with, that I came from the streets instead of an educated, well documented family, he has to say.
Right. Oh my Lord. Did you sustain any injuries from that attack?
Yes, I had emotional scars, but I had bruises on my foot where they kicked me. And just, thinking about it every night, I had to tie my bar door with a shoestring, and my kids, they didn't want to stay there anymore, which I can understand. But I was in the process of moving anyway. It was
Yeah, but still
just, I don't know what it was. Yeah,
you want to have that choice.
that's
Not
correct.
You always want to have that choice. Not to have that choice. To have that choice taken away from you is really, really wrong. Really wrong. My
That's correct.
God. And so now with the film, you said it's low budget. So, what are you? When do you anticipate it being completed so we can see it?
It should be completed in another 3 months. So
Hmm.
I just got through laying down the score for it. And the actors are people who just regular people that I found, looking at them, and I asked them would they like to act, or I went to different agencies, and that's how I was able to approach different people to play different parts in the film.
What advice would you have for someone who is holding on to a great book that they know should be a film and they want to be like you when they grow up? What piece of advice could you share?
Never give up, to follow your
Oh,
dreams, and to believe in yourself.
absolutely. That sounds wonderful. Absolutely. Mm. So how can we relate to your book? I know some people will ask me
I've written several books, and so when people are trying to decide which one or two they want, I'll say, well, what type of books do you read, or what would you like to know about? So how can we relate to your book if we wanted to know how it could relate to us?
Well, I'm not a writer really. Like I said, I do write music. It started as a court case and it just turned into a book because I wanted people to be educated and to learn about the laws in California and also the federal laws. So what I would tell them is it is a motivational book because I also have a poem in there, Never to Give Up. And I would tell them so they would know their rights, at least in the state of California and on some federal levels as to what the law is. So I guess I would target them that way. But different people have given me different responses. They like the book, they like the video, they can't wait to see the film. And I'm really surprised as being an author, first time author, and getting responses like that.
First time author is nothing more exciting than getting that box with your books inside.
That's true. That's true. But you have to know how to market it also. That's what I do too. I'm a marketing, entertainment marketing person. And when I received the first book, these are pages from a book that I had previously wrote, but it was too big and it was a colorful book. So what I wanted to do was to break it down so people could understand it. They could read the internal affairs report. They could read about what happened. And by me going to school and being educated, I knew what the police could do and what the police could not do. So that helped me along my journey. I let them come on in there, even though they didn't have a warrant. They busted my door down and put me down on the ground. I didn't say anything. I didn't complain because I knew God was watching me, see, and He was taking care of me every step that I took along this journey.
I tell you, if you've got faith that God won't put more on you than you can bear, then you halfway there. That's remarkable. That's remarkable. Could you read us a little bit, a line or two from your book? I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Well, in chapter 1, I put in there, what kind of world do we live in? I can only imagine how one must feel being betrayed by a fellow police officer and friends. I can only dream about the pain, hurt, and disappointment one must feel working out in the streets every day while the badge they wear is tarnished from corruption, lawsuits, excessive force, and scandals that plague your department just because of a few rotten apples. Now, the reason why I wrote this is because I have a lot of police officers that are relatives of mine, good friends, went to school with. I'm not upset about the police department. What I'm upset about is those few little rotten apples that tarnish your badge. And I tell them, don't give up. I gave them a badge of faith. Everything will be okay just because one police officer is on the take, taking bribes or doing whatever they're doing. Don't you give up, you see. And that's why I try to bestow in everyone that reads the book.
Phenomenal. I got chills just listening to you. Yes, we have to know our rights, but we also have to know how to apply our rights. We can't just be yelling and screaming and fighting back. Even though you were on the ground, you complied with what they were saying. And I mean, it's just
that's
awful.
why I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand because I was in compliance, and the police officer who should have been in charge, He even asked the other person, "Well, did you find anything?" And it was like a rush job. Yes, we found a lot. Oh, a lot to book her with, and all this and that. But when it came down to the court, it was a DA reject because they didn't have anything at all. So
Yeah.
the film and the book will show you that, into detail.
And this happened in the late 90s, 1999, you said?
That's correct, Dr. Me.
Hmm. I can only imagine. And I really have no words to say. It's just tragic, just tragic. But
Yes,
I
it
do
is.
have to say, I'm proud of you for putting it in writing, for
Thank you.
putting it down on paper. I'm proud of you because your book is going to help somebody else. And I also see how the police departments across the country could learn from your book as well, what to do
Yes.
and what not to do, especially with a pregnant woman. And at 9 months, I know you was looking good and pregnant. It wasn't like they
Yes,
could say,
ma'am.
oh, didn't know she was pregnant, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh
That's
my
correct.
God.
Some of the police officers, they were really nice to me afterwards. They were like, "Oh, are the handcuffs too tight?" Uh, Things like that. Because I said, "You know what? I'm going to call my cousin right now, who's a judge, and find out what's going on here."
Yeah, once they find that out, I bet you they was real apologetic then. But the
Yes, ma'am. I know you are.
damage had already been done. Lord have mercy.
Yes, yes.
So I know you're in marketing as well. Can you give some of us a tip or two about how to market and promote our books?
Well, the best marketing tip is word of mouth.
Mhm.
If you tell people about your book, you put flyers out. I do a little old fashioned way. I put flyers out. I go knock on people's doors, put them in the mailboxes, things like that. Word of mouth is the best marketing tool. Now, if you do have money, of course, advertising, but make sure you get a good advertising agent that will help
Hmm.
you instead of someone that's just taking your money, that
Okay.
promotion.
We need an agent to take care of our advertising. Hmm.
Yes, yes. If you can do it yourself, that's fine, you know. And like now, what I've been doing is I've been promoting my book. I give them a little gift baskets, like different book reviewers. Because I don't know if you noticed that I got a 5-star review on Amazon. That's where the book is
Yes.
available.
Yes.
And so people being now living far away, everything's digital in the COVID-19, you still can't just drop things off. But I go to different newspapers and I put together a little promo package with the book in it, a PR notice, like to explain the book and just little things like that that will help you.
Hmm. Okay. How can we get a copy of the book? I know it's on Amazon, but uh, tell me the name of the book and how they can find it on Amazon.
Okay, you could just go to Amazon and it's called Shavonda's Autobiography, Pages from Her Documentary, and you'll see a picture of me. Can you see the
Yep.
book?
Yep.
Okay. And just click my face on there and you'll see me. Now, I do
Good.
have a link, but
Good.
I do have a link, but again, I was unsure. And again, thank you so very much for having me on your show. I would have prepared something, a link or something, so that you'll be able to receive it on Amazon.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
So,
we got a little time, and I'd love to have you join us again. So you have time to make a link and then let us know, and we'll be sure to share it on an upcoming episode of Books and Besties, because that's a great
thank you.
marketing tool right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how
Oh,
is your book coming along?
oh, I'm having so much fun. I don't. I have a dear friend who writes. novels.
Okay.
And I became fascinated because when you write a novel, you got several people whose
Right.
personalities you have to develop and how they interact with other people. And that just fascinated me. So I promised myself I was going to write an autobiography, but I also
Mm.
wanted to write a children's book. So I finished with I haven't published it yet, but I finished with my children's book. And
Okay.
it's all about the creatures in the swamp. So I gave each of them like human personalities, and they're interacting with each other, and they're doing everything that I learned from my girl who you know started with novels. So I'm excited about that. Now I understand what she means when she says she'll have a character just come out of the blue and say, "Oh, you just gonna leave me standing here on X Street, or you just gonna have you just lingering." So now that I finished with the first children's book, I want to delve into doing it again. Same character,
Mhm.
same swamp, but different situations.
Right,
And
like a continuation. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think I want to have the continuation at least finished as I publish the first one, because I think after everybody reads the first one, they're going to be asking me about it. And I don't want to be writing and stressed because people are asking about it. So
Correct.
I'm excited. I do a lot of anthologies. Avalon and I produce and publish anthologies, but I like to be in them as well. And so our next anthology is my Job experience, like Job from the Bible. He went through
Yes.
all that stuff back to
Mhm.
back to back to back, but God still kept him.
Yes.
So we're looking for two more people to round out that anthology to share their story. And I tell you, it's an exciting thing to be able to meet authors and work with them and learn about who they are and what they do, just like you today. It's just
Mhm.
been so eye-opening for me. We have to know our rights. That's the biggest thing I
Yes.
took from you today. And
Yes.
I don't
And
know.
don't
I don't know.
complain. I don't want you to complain either.
Right.
Just if you just do what they say, then come back later and get them. Just, be obedient.
And come back later and get them. That's good. That's good.
You won't seem like irate or they could say anything. If you was like, oh no, go ahead. You want to search the car. You want to go ahead, because you have nothing to hide.
Because I'm taking notes, and I know some people. Well, thank you so much. I hope I didn't keep you for too long, but I'm just absolutely fascinated by your story. And I appreciate you for being our guest on the show today. Do you have any final comments you'd like to leave our audience with?
I'd just like to say, first of all, thank you so very much for having me. And I would truly like to say, if you believe and you know you're innocent, don't give up. God's got your back. You just don't
Gotcha.
know the things that I've been through. Just not being pregnant and them illegally raiding my house. But I have had people try to kill me because once you report the police, that's the problem. But thank God that there's a God somewhere that He wouldn't put on you what you could not bear. Because thank God I've got relatives and people who love me that stood up for me and stood by my side. And that's helped keeping me safe through all this, including the police department. Can you believe
Yes,
that?
yes, Lord.
Some
Yes,
internal
Lord.
affairs and different people, they have stood up for me to
Yes,
help keep me
Lord.
safe.
Thank you.
So
Thank
don't
you.
give up on your dreams and don't give up, especially if you're right.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. All right, I got another reason to come to California. Another reason. I hope we can connect soon. Thank you for being with
Sure.
us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of Books and Besties in just a bit.
Okay, take care.
The precious petals of God. an anthology presented by visionary Diana C. Hill and a collection of anointed authors. Don't let this day go by without capturing a copy for yourself and secure another copy for someone else. An eclectic collection of stories symbolizing the flowers, the women of the Bible, and the authors. Contact any of the co-authors to purchase your copy or purchase your copy on Amazon, and be sure to write a review. The Precious Petals of God, an anthology published by NGB Productions and presented by visionary Diana C. Hill. We can help you put the pieces together. Audiobooks, flyers, commercials, and more. NGB Productions on Facebook.
I loved having the opportunity to talk with Shavonda. She shared a powerful, powerful testimony. So just about now, I'm going to bring Avalon back in, and then we're going to get a chance to talk to Dr. Shauna. Oh my goodness, she's here with us, and I'm looking forward to that. Avalon, what you think about Shavonda's testimony? Oh, you turn your microphone on. Turn your microphone on.
That is something. I met her a couple of years back at the book expo in Houston, in the Black Book Festival there. And, I read her first book, and it's like I couldn't believe, what happened to her. It's just amazing. It's, something you hear about these things, but you never meet the people that really go through it. And she went through something. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
God, she sure did.
and I read her documentaries on YouTube. The one she said, a letter to one of the LA detectives or something. Yeah, that's a powerful story.
It sure is. It sure is. Well, we got some shout outs this morning. Naisha Wilkins says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Naisha. Then Jackie Henry is watching. I think this is about the second or third week we've seen Jackie. We're going to have to get her as a guest on the show. She's a
Yes.
faithful viewer. And then Ida DeWeaver says, good morning, and we're excited about that little baby picture that's on your profile. That looked like a brand new fresh baby. So Jeanette Walker says, my God, because she was watching Shavonda's testimony. I still can't believe they knocked Shavonda down and she was pregnant 9 months.
9 months. Yeah, they don't care.
I guess not. And then Minister Patricia Williams said, God morning. So we're grateful for you too, Minister Patricia. But right now, I want to bring in Dr. Shauna so we can learn more about her. And I don't want you to go anywhere. Thank you for being here today, dear.
Hello. How y'all doing?
We're doing just fine.
Good, great. Yes.
I want to bring a couple other people on camera so they can meet you too. Pastor Rock, we're going to bring you back on camera, and Michael D. Scott. Of course, I'm your biggest fan. We're going to bring you back in while we talk with Dr. Shauna. Shauna, tell us your name and what city and state you're in.
Absolutely. My name is Dr. Sheena, and I live in Troy, New York, originally from South Carolina.
Oh, okay. All right. And you're friends with Avalon, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Avalon, you want to tell us a little bit about your friend? I hate just reading the bios, but you tell us about your
Yeah,
best.
I have to read it. I met her we were in an anthology together, and we've stayed in touch. We are Facebook friends. Dr. Shauna is an empowerment advocate, an author, a life coach, dedicated to helping women heal from trauma, embrace their true selves, walk bodily in their purpose, And she's just excited to share her journey about being resilient and empowering while inspiring to help other people.
Wonderful, wonderful. I, man, I don't know where to start. That's powerful. You tell us what you want us to know, Dr. Shayna. Tell us.
Well, the thing about me, I am one that helps people get uncomfortable to be comfortable to then be successful. I went through domestic violence about 10 years ago and I decided to take my pain and turn it into a purpose. I
All right.
decided to help women, men, children of all sorts of walk of life to know that regardless of where you come from, regardless of what you've been through, don't let it stagnate you from life and
Yeah.
that you hold the power and your words are powerful and you have to use them.
You have to, because they create life. So the words you speak create life that can affect your life. Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. I tell you, it's amazing when I hear people talk about turning their pain into purpose. So, what is your specific purpose that came from your pain?
Well, after going through domestic violence, my first set, because see, I have so many types of the purpose, but it all goes to the acronym that I use called DOPE, dedicating to other people empowerment. I
Oh,
empower people to be their greatest self. So to let them know that they are dope.
good. Good. All right. That'll work. That'll work. I tell you, there's so many other testimonies that could come from domestic violence, but yours is a positive one, and I'm proud of you. Thank you, dear.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Because I didn't, I, it was a reason I was saved. I say it like that because I went through it more than once. My first incident when I went through it, I was actually pregnant with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And, to say I couldn't, I might have would have been one of those that didn't make it, but it was the reason that I was kept. So why not take the pain that I went through to help others not, feel stagnant after going through trauma because it
Right.
leaves scars on you after dealing with it. So why not help them to become the greatest version of themselves after it?
Wonderful. 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 Have you written any of your testimonies down? Have you shared them with the literary world?
Well, I have written 8 books. I've been in 38 projects. I've created my own magazine, podcast, and and that's why I have my doctorate. I got my honorary doctorate last year.
Okay, okay. Good job. Good job. Good job. Honorary. Ooh, I had to write a bunch of papers and pass to get mine. So, oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Well,
Yes, yes.
Dr. Shana, I want to introduce you to Michael D. Scott and Pastor Rock. They are here representing dfcmarket.com. And so, Pastor, can you tell Dr. Shana just one brief testimony about DFC?
Oh Lord,
No.
that's hard to do. Uh,
Okay.
good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
It's it's like it's like nitroglycerin. You got to be careful because it's energy that you want, but you don't understand it because it comes when it want to come. Because I believe it's it's enhancing the blood cells to a point where the blood cells are like they was when you was 20, 30, and you feel that energy, you can get that
Yeah.
second wind. This what the five do. It give you that what you had a long time ago, and it makes your mind think, man, that's powerful. And it have you excited because you have something that you ain't had in a long time ago. You go like, wow. It's just like you say, I ain't had this love since I was in love at 16 or 15. That puppy love. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
real love. And when you meet somebody like that, you excited. That's how
Mhm.
it is. That's the best way I can describe it. Because
Thank
I
you.
give it away just to prove that it worked. So it's an
Mhm.
energy that you need. If you work with it, it'll work with you. And if
Mhm.
you need sleep, it will put you to bed.
All right, all right. What about you, Michael? You got anything you could tell Dr. Shana?
Dr. Shana, All, the main thing I can tell you, please do not sleep on DFC.com, DFCmarket.com, because our products are healing people every day. They work. They work. They're different than the synthetic medications that people take all the time. Synthetic medications are just that, synthetic. They were not meant to be put in our bodies.
That's
These
right.
are plant-based products. It's like plant-based food. You know, foods work better when you know yourself. God put us together to know how to heal thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you feel better, you're gonna do better. That's where I feel. I make more sense when I got more common sense, more mental clarity. I said, "Whoa, why am I doing this? I should be been doing this 20, 40 years ago.
Yep.
I'm 72, and I'm feeling living my best life right here, right now. And I
Yes.
stand on the mountaintop and tell the world that because the products are they work, they help you get yourself together. And everybody knows somebody with cancer, diabetes, and high blood pressure and weight issues. So we have something for everybody. And it's making
Mm-hmm.
me feel like young boy. When I can lose 20 pounds that I've been carrying for 20 years, that's a game changer right there. And I can still think. So I'm awesome grateful for that website that I can get the things that I need and share them with the world because everybody needs healing somewhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Avalon, you got any questions for Dr. Shayna?
Yes. Tell us about your most recent book that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Turning my pain into purpose when I was the visionary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
saw the book.
that's the last book I put together as an anthology. I had 38 souls that shared their stories to impact people to be the best version of themselves. Basically, I took 38 people, allowed them to share their story in this book called Turning My Pain and Purpose, which is 316 pages
Mm-hmm.
altogether. And, it's basically allowing people to share things of, loss, grief, domestic violence, divorce, and etc. of things they went through in life, and they decided to take it and turned it into a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The other book that I released was my children's book, which was called Owen and the Bullies, which
Oh.
I did with my kids. So every children book I do, I have them as a co-author. I asked them what they wanted to do. They wanted to talk about bullying. So we created Owning the Bullies where we allow, I go to the schools and I read to the kids about bullying and empowering them that, who they are, they're amazing and they need to know that and to know that, if somebody is attacking you for who you are, is actually something wrong with them, not wrong with you.
Yeah,
That.
that's a nice book. Yes.
Yeah. And you're setting them up for generational wealth later. When they get older, they're already authors and they can, that's
Mm.
wonderful. Wonderful
Absolutely.
news. Wonderful news. We talked earlier, Doc, about our YEP program, YEAP, which is Youth Entrepreneur Author Program, where we virtually will work with young students to encourage them to write, just like you said, and get their books published as an anthology. And so I'm right here with you, right here with you, and I applaud you for that. I do, I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did something similar to that with my grandchildren. I did like a little anthology with them, but having them to talk about their experience growing up with Nana, because I have seven grands, three great grands. So I put that book together called Under Nana's Umbrella. So each one of them wrote a story about, growing up with Nana. I allowed them to put their pictures in there, and I put a book together like that also. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very necessary. Because they've been through me with me this whole 6 year journey. The fact is that I went through domestic violence. They see me go through it. And, it's my better way to show them that regardless of what I've been through, I was able to take it and turn it around to something else, to become a better mom, to become a better daughter, to become a better person in general. They go with me to my events because I have Sheena Master Motivation where we go to the shelters and we speak life into the women that are going through the trials of domestic violence. I work with about 4 different shelters. I also allow them to go with me when I go and do workshops along with just empowering people to just be your greatest self. It comes, Sheena, Master Motivation comes from my very first book that I titled The Mask Behind the Mask, because so many times we put a face on, but there's always another face behind that face. And I just want people to know that you can take the face off and be very comfortable with who you are and love every aspect of who you are and be able to show up unapologetically, authentically who you are.
We just received a question. Somebody just texted a question for you, Doc. They want to know, do you speak on domestic violence? And if so, how can they contact you?
I do. That is like one of my major topics that I do speak on. You can either email me or find me on Facebook. My email is sgourdine, which is Gourdine 16 at gmail.com. But I speak on that a lot, actually. I'm a big advocate for it 24/7, 365 days a year.
Okay, okay. Thank you, viewer, for sending in that text message. That is wonderful. One other question from Michael, uh, and I think I know who sent this text, but I'm just going to read it like it is. Is Michael D. Scott a member of the Silver Fox Committee? Oh, Lord.
No. I'm flattered. I've seen them, brother. They pretty tough.
Ooh, they are tough, aren't they?
They
Oh,
are
my
tough.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah. All right, you keep taking super immune support. You'll be right there with the Silver Fox.
But excuse me, Dr. Godin, what's your email again?
It's SGOURDINE 16 at
Mm-hmm.
gmail.com.
Okay. All right, thank you. Because
Absolutely.
Atlanta women need you. They
Yes,
need to know about you.
yes.
Absolutely. Listen,
Domestic
I'm
violence is running
listen.
rampant.
It is. It's huge, and that's one reason why I decided to use my voice, because so many times it gets swept under the rug, or it's not
Mhm,
acknowledged as it should, or it's
mhm,
not taken as serious as it should because it's not physical.
mhm,
When it
Right.
comes to violence, it's not just physically abusing you. It's so many different things of it. It's spiritual, financial,
mhm,
emotional, verbal, and those are the ones that last the longest.
Exactly.
mhm,
Yeah.
So the aspects of speaking out, giving people the red flags, understanding healthy and unhealthy relationships, understanding who they are and the value of who they are, so that they don't align themselves in these situations, so that they don't end up where I was. I understand that I went through this situation, but it wasn't for me, it was for the greater good for the others. So I
Right.
decided
Right.
to be here and be the passion for it.
Right.
incredible, incredible. I am so glad I got the opportunity to meet you. Thank you, Avalon, for inviting her. This is
Oh, yes.
powerful testimonies. Powerful.
It
Mm,
is.
Thank you.
It is.
mm, mm, mm. If there was something else that you could do with your life at this time, Doc, what do you think you'd be doing?
You know, it's funny. I don't think I would want to do anything else.
Mm,
You know why? Because when I wake up, I know that my words is helping someone else passionately through my testimony. I know when I post that you are enough, that it's helping someone. When I wrote those books, it's attached to someone. When I open my mouth, there's a word that's attached to someone that I might not know who it needs to hear it, but I
right,
need to say it.
right.
So honestly, I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't change anything that happened to me. I wouldn't change my journey because it was bigger than me. When I seen the vision was already created for me.
Mm.
I just had to step into it.
Praise God. You are on the
Yeah.
path that He placed you on. Everybody
Seriously.
can say that. Ooh, that's good.
Right.
Doing
That's
this for
true.
6 years and after just going through the domestic violence and not looking like my story, because if you look at me, I don't look like my story. So that's another reason for the title
Right.
of Unmasked Motivation and Sheena, the mask behind the mask. I suffer with six different health conditions, but I don't look like that story because my vision of what I deal with is greater than me. And yes, I was diagnosed by the doctor, but that's not the life I live. I don't let it control me, I control it.
Mhm, mhm. Well, you
So,
need to write down this website,
oh, I
www.dfcmarket.com.
wrote it down when he said it. I got it.
Yes.
I
you need
got it.
you need to try some, I tell you. And we will all be getting the surgeons and the doctors. They'll be questioning, how did we get better? How did we pass this test? How did we do this and do that? Yeah. It has been
Absolutely.
a pleasure having you on the show. Tell us one more time how people can get a copy of your books.
Absolutely. So, it's 8 different titles that's out there right now. You can either find them on Amazon, Barnes& and Nobles, or Walmart.com, or you can go to my website, which is www.sheenaandmastingmotivation.com, or you can contact me on Facebook as Dr. Sheena Godine. You can find me on Instagram as the Lady Behind the Mask 22, or you can find me on TikTok as Sheena Author, or LinkedIn as Sheena Masting Motivation.
All right. All right. That's wonderful. We're looking forward to it. You got any closing comments? Any words of inspiration you want to leave us before we end the show?
Absolutely. Always remember that you are enough and you are greater than your past story. Be present and love who you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Pastor Rock, you got you another motivational speaker for your women's committee.
That's something else that I do.
Yeah, not a
Well, I
problem.
have I have 4 women preaching, so I don't discriminate.
Ah, good for you.
And I
Good.
was raised by women. My friend was 114 before she passed.
Wow.
So they taught me about prayer and believing in prayer. So I don't discriminate at all when it comes to women. I deal with more women than I do with men. Men's are stubborn and hard headed. And I talked last night about men's taking care of your wife. When it come to nails, hair, they got to look good. You can look like a bomb, but she need to look good because she represent you. And some men envy that, and they like to keep that woman in a box. You
Yep.
know, display that woman. You know, the stove, they put a mannequin up there to be all women looking just as pretty. Then the women go in there and buy that dress or buy whatever that mannequin have on. And that women, what you call window shopping. Put your
Mhm.
woman on display
Mhm.
and let her look good, you know. And another thing about little Doc, she's in a place where God is really using her to be a
Mm,
help to a lot of women, because I deal with a lot of abused women. And
mm,
trust me, those spirits ain't no joke. You had to
They
learn
not.
about those
Yeah.
spirits. I went to the place where used to be a shelter home, and you talking about spirits. The place is infested with it. They closed it down, but the spirits are still there, and the
mm,
spirits deal with the mind and the
Mhm.
soul of that person. So those women are hard to deal with because they have a lot of deep wounds. You know, you can forgive, but it's hard to forget. So some of those scars are there, you know. And I call it rescuing women from Satan arms, because Satan used some men to battle women to a point that the next man can't even get close to that woman because
mm.
she's afraid to get hurt. But Doc, you're doing a
Right.
good job, and you have my prayer. One thing about Pastor
Mhm.
Rock, I don't get on no podcast, no TV, none of that stuff. I just let Jesus be Jesus. And the only reason I
Right.
did it is because I learned I love Brother Ernest, and I know the 5 works. Other than that, nah, that ain't me. I ain't looking for no fame. I'm just low. I'm low in a
But
low place, and I do anything for anybody, anybody. So
Man.
you'll be a blessing, and I'll be a blessing to you.
Well, thank you,
yeah,
Absolutely.
Pastor
Thank
Rock.
you.
Thank you.
Amen.
right.
Thank
And I
Amen.
commend her
That's
for putting that
from my
story
heart.
out.
Yeah, truly.
I
Man.
commend you for going around talking about it because I experienced it in '89, but I put it in an anthology, but I don't go around and talk about it,
Mhm.
because I was able to. Maybe it went on 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3 months, but I locked the person up and left it right there. But recent anthologies, I have put the story in there, but I just leave it like that. I don't go around and talk about it. So it's good that you're doing that. But it doesn't. It only affects me, like he said, in the sense of having somebody really, really allowing them to get really, really close to you.
Right.
Other than that, I never remarried. anything like that. And I don't think I've ever really, anybody that I dealt with fell in love with them since then.
Mm,
Like
mm,
I'll deal with them or date them, but to
Mm-hmm.
like love them to the point where they're that close to me again, no, I have never done that.
Well, I felt that when we got on the screen the first time. You got to understand a part of us, it's just like meat. You put it in the freezer and freeze it.
Mm-hmm.
And it only thaws out when you allowed to get thawed out, to be
Right.
used, because you freeze that part of your heart, and it's hard to get it thawed out because you don't have that trust. That's why most women was at the cross when Jesus died. It was all around the cross with no men's other than John. He said, John, behold my mother. Compassion. Women's are very compassionate. When they have a child and the
Right.
child get hurt, the child run into the mother. They don't run to the father because the mother embraced the child and rubbed the child. The father be trying to be hard, but a woman is compassionate to a point where we know we need that woman, and that woman is needed in the church as more than anything, because the church don't went another way with the men's, and the men's don't want the women to say nothing, and it's wrong for that because the women, they have that love and that compassion to heal people that come in that's hurt. It's a lot of people come in church hurt, but they come in through bad marriages. They come in through all kind of stuff. So I deal with more women. And when I cater to those women, I try to help them understand God's love, not my love. It's the God love in us that heals them. And healing is a process because glory be to God, is deep. It's deep spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So the demons really try to talk to that woman and deal with that woman and whisper to that woman, nobody loves you. Nobody will never love you. You'll never get married no more. But that's a lie. God has somebody for everybody that's in his will. In his will, because God have a purpose and a plan for everybody, but
Right.
everybody don't understand. When you around older people like I was, they show you things that they've been through. So I take that and run that through
Mm-hmm.
my life now because it helps me, because they tells me, look, son, you got to understand, a virtuous woman, a real woman, she builds. She's always building.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got somebody to build with you, you have something. Little
yeah.
lady, the little doctor lady, God have already planned your life out. God have.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is greater than God. God knows all things. It's a lot of hurting you, but God is the healer. God is the one
Right.
that allow you to take all of this hurt into your kids, and you surround yourself with your kids. That's a woman. Some men don't do that because they don't want to cry. They're not compassionate. But I cry because I always ask God, God, where your real people's at? I'm
Right,
interested in real people, not
right,
talkers, church
Mm-hmm.
talkers.
right.
So my little
Right.
friend here,
Right.
she's a warrior. The little lady here, she's a real warrior. She a fighter.
Yes.
She's a real warrior. But you got some of
Yes.
these men out here, they scared too. That's good men, but they scared because they don't believe it's good women, older women. So the devil try to put younger women in their face. Oh, she
Mm-hmm.
young, you can have her. She'll take care of you. No, she won't. She's gonna take everything you got and leave you like you are.
Phenomenal.
So
Well, you
God,
saying
God got
something now,
women's of
Pastor.
virtue. God got women's of virtue.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh
why
yes.
you
Yes.
straight up, and you could be a good mayor of a city because you're not a liar. Good people's are hard to
Right.
find.
Right.
Right.
That's all I'm meeting today. Good people, and y'all done touched my heart in a way. And Mr. Scott know how I talk. I shoot from the hip. I'm real with it because I done
Amen.
seen life after death. I done seen people go to
Right.
heaven. I done
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
seen it. I don't preach funerals no more because I hate to see people go the other way. And if I get up there and I tell the truth, everybody will get mad with me. Everybody don't go to heaven.
Right. Right.
Everybody
Everybody don't
don't.
go to heaven,
They don't
Right.
even
go.
if they sitting in church.
It ain't
They
no
don't.
homegoing. That homegoing stuff. It ain't no homegoing. I seen the heavens open up and my friend came in. I heard the angel say, open up, open the gates and let her in. And she flew right on there. I seen my mama in the heavenly places. I seen my best friend in heavenly place. The room lit up. He was so pretty. He said, everything you told me, Pastor Rock, is true. I had many times to get on TV. I said, Jesus, I want to be where you at. If you ain't there, I
Yes.
don't want
Right.
to be there. I
Yes.
don't
Right.
want to be around people just talking, just talking, just
Mm-hmm.
talking.
Right.
I like to be around people real. I can feel your heart. I feel your spirit. I know what kind of woman. You're a real woman. You're a good woman.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
gave your heart. And when we give our heart, we expect them to give something. And some people don't have the heart to give back. They
Well,
don't know love. Love starts from home with your mama.
yes.
Everything starts from a woman. If
That's
that
it.
woman give love at the home, that boy gonna have love. I don't care. He out in them streets, he gonna remember what mama told him.
That's
Right.
right.
I raised 3 boys, and they are all gentlemen, and like I whooped them, like I supposed to. So you
Right.
doing a good job. And little grandma here with her little grandbaby, she love you to death. If you got a friend, that's a real friend. She'll fight
Yes.
for you. She'll
Yes.
cook anything you want. She'll help you. Any way she can help you. But one thing about her, I like the way she analyzed things. She just wanted the truth. She don't want no lie in front of her face. She just got to observe everything. And she got every right to do it because what she been through.
Well,
Michael
Avalon,
Scott
preaching to you.
he know how he
Huh?
is. He love exercise, but it's more than exercise. It's a life. If you live this life, you'll see God. I've seen the Ku Klux Klans. I've seen the game bangers. I went over 1,000,000 miles in 10 years. I went to all the islands. I done traveled everywhere, and I never went nowhere. We raised up poor, 13 kids. My mama was 101. COVID killed her. My uncle was 102. So I was around the old people. They planted in me. So I ain't go no preacher school to learn how to preach. I went to
Right.
Jesus, and
Yes.
I said, Jesus, why you give me so
That was
much?
your
He said,
father.
I can trust you. Trust is a big thing
Mm-hmm.
in marriage. Trust is a big thing in friendship. Trust. I said, well, Lord, why you show me so much? He said, I can trust you. Trust is
Right,
powerful.
right.
He taught me how to fast and pray, how to go before him and get an answer. I get an answer from God. And I didn't want to do no podcast. I'm just being real. I don't like being on TV. I'm real with it. I don't like me talking to people
Yes,
like
you
this.
are.
I like to be in front of people's face when I talk and let God use me. When the Spirit of God used me, that's it. The lady came to my church last night. I don't even know the lady. God let me minister to that lady, started crying. I said, then I seen the way the man was trying to manipulate and get in there. You know, some men want to rub the genie lamp, and glory be God. That's all. They want to play with the lady's mind, play with her heart. She pour out to him and tell
Mm-hmm.
her secrets, and then he used that. He proud on that. And I tell people, I say, look, don't let nobody in your heart that God ain't letting in there. Pray
Right.
about it. Ask about it. Come talk to me.
Learn that.
That's what I can tell you the truth. Stop talking to these lolly-dolly preachers.
Learn that the
Glory
hard
be to
way.
God, letting all this stuff going on in church. And glory be to God and saying, amen, thank you, Jesus. It ain't right. Tear
Yes.
Amen.
down everything that's not right. If you
Yes.
doing what's right, the devil gonna fight you.
Yes.
Yep.
He's real.
Yep. Yes,
He's
Right.
he
real.
will.
He gonna fight the children, the grandchildren, the great grandchildren, the
Everybody. Yep.
generation. I don't
Right.
care what you lay up for him, he gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got smooth spirits. He teach. He teach them because ain't no family structure in the house. God was in our house. I don't care what 13 of us, God was there. We went to church.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
got a foundation. So when people come to my church, say, where all your people's at? Well, I need a lot of people.
Right.
Jesus had 12. And what 3 of them did? One
Right.
betrayed him, one denied
Right.
him, and one
Right.
had doubt.
Right. Where 2 or 3 are. That's
So
where
now,
he is.
2 or 3
Gather
together.
together.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing, the nature of Christ. Who want to be like Jesus? If you're going to be like Jesus, you got to carry the cross. So the cross, you're going to have
Yes.
pain. You're going to have suffering. You're going to have trial.
Oh,
You're going to have tribulation. Everything ain't going to be good. I done took
right.
people
Right.
on cruises, and people still go do what they want to do. Take them on vacation. Take them shopping. Some people just got in their heart not to do right. They ain't going to do right.
Yeah.
You can give them
Amen.
money. You can buy them nice pocketbooks. They still gonna do what they want to do.
Well,
And I buy Dooney Burks. I've been buying Dooney Burks for about 30 years.
well.
So that tells you, glory be to God, the pastor's supposed to be the biggest giver in the church, and everybody follow after him. I don't believe in
Mm-hmm.
nobody coming to church ain't got nothing. Everybody here gonna have something.
Yep.
Amen.
But when God pour out, it's gonna pour out on me and overflow on everybody around me. So, little lady, you're doing a great work because it's so
Yes.
many women. It's so many women. They messed up. You go to Philadelphia, you see places in Philadelphia. So many women all messed up. Chicago, Detroit, L.A. I got 3 sisters in L.A. and a brother. One live out Crenshaw. I done seen it all. I done been in the midst of them, in the midst of all of these drugs, all of this. And God said, "No weapon formed against thee shall prosper." The DOT pulled a gun on me. I've been locked up in jail for nothing. I flipped over in 18-wheelers. Oh, glory be to God. Truck caught a fire. All kind of stuff. God said, I got you. I'm with you. I've been on Indian reservation, ministering to Indians, not taking up money, but giving.
Yes.
More blessing to give than to trying to get out here beg. My mama said, I catch you asking somebody for a nickel. I got something for you. So we learned that from home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wait to be a grown person to learn not to get up in the pulpit and beg and take everything. If your light bill need to be paid, give me the light bill. I'll pay it. You need rent, I'll pay it. You need a car, I'll give you a car. But I had people come in, get it, and leave because they don't understand ministry. They don't understand the love of God. The love of God is powerful.
Right.
And that's what little lady here, glory be God, Miss Angie B, she loved God with all her heart, mind, and soul. She loved God. She really loved God. And it make a difference when you love God like that.
I do.
It makes all the difference in the world when you love God. Love working no ill toward no neighbor. Love or help anybody. I stay around all these Caucasian people. I don't think it's two blacks around here. And they look at me, they don't know how to deal with me. They say, you got a lot of cars. You don't have nothing to do with them. But they look at all my cars and stuff. They walk by, they'll come up to the house with a box of donuts. I don't want no donuts.
You on super immune support. You don't need no sugar for your energy.
I seen the spirit come and say, I'm watching you. And he say, every time you tell people about Jesus, we got to fight that person because we don't want that person to believe what you believe.
Right.
See, God want all them that lap like a dog. He want the ones that gonna not run and fight. That's where you come in at. Little lady here, little grandma, you a warrior. You're a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
You're a warrior.
Yes, she
You're
is.
a warrior. You're a fighter.
She
You're
don't
a
take
fighter.
no mess.
No, she don't. She's straight. She'll fight. And I love that fight in her. She got that fight. I love to fight the devil with her. Come on, let's go.
I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna leave y'all alone because
you got him started.
He's telling the truth, though.
I can listen to him all day because he's
telling the truth.
Nothing but truth.
Well, we'll get together one day and I'll tell you about heavenly places. I'll tell you about the demons that watching y'all. Watch everything you do.
Oh, I see them. I see them all the time.
Yeah. So God allow us to be in this old wicked world, and we know the world is wicked, and don't expect nothing less. We know when we meet people, we pick up spirits. People that hate and don't know why they hate because the spirit uses them.
Yeah.
I go in Walmart and preach in Walmart. They don't even run me out. They be say, hey, Pastor, hey. I go in Dollar Tree. Everywhere I go, hey. And Mama taught me, if people treat you right, shop there. And I go everywhere where people treat me right, and they allow me to be in their store. Even when I didn't pay for my grocery, I left my money home. They said, Pastor, we trust you. Go home. Take the grocery with you. Walmart. That's unheard of. You know, and God blesses me. He keep blessing me, open doors for me. And he keep opening. I deal with murderers, drug dealers. I don't care, prostitutes. I don't discriminate against none of them.
Amen.
But I believe in a woman, a real woman of God. I believe in that because a woman of God, she gonna nurture. She know how to nurture. She know how to embrace. Some men, they come to church want to embrace a woman. I say, hey, man, we don't embrace women's in here. Not like that. Not like shimmy. We don't do that. I had to rebuke a guy the other week. I said, hey, he's a little businessman. I don't care how he look, his suit and tie, and how he conduct himself with his voice. I said, man, look at you. We don't hug women like this. Because see, when some women go through all that pain and hurt, they get that kind of hug. They started feeling he feel like he liked me. I think he liked me. Then they don't want to let you go. That's a bad hug. That's a bad hug. Because a woman have breasts. You ain't got no business up on that. That's for her husband. That's not for you. You can get mad at me all you want to. I don't care.
Gotta give a shout out to the prophet Malachi Steele. Thank you for watching today. Favor, Dr. I'm sorry, Prophet Malachi said that was a good talk. You talking real good. You talking real good. And I want to thank Dr. Monique L. Rogers for watching today. I appreciate you for being here. And Too Legit to Quit has chimed in and is watching. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I promised y'all I wasn't going to keep you long, but we needed to hear that word from Pastor.
Yes, we did. Yes,
We
we
needed to
do.
All
hear
right.
that
Yes,
word.
indeed.
So I'm going to keep on loving God. And if he allowed me to love on somebody else, I will receive that as well. So thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Well, we are at the end of our show today. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you backstage while we end the show. And Avalon, today was wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
it was. Yes, it was. It was awesome
I'm going to
and
get
powerful. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'm
Yes.
going to get some super immune support 500s, as soon as I get off the air. And we got to do the audiobook for Dr. Shayna. That sounds
Yes.
wonderful. That
Yes,
sounds,
we do.
Dr. Shayna, we're going to be in touch with you. We need to do your audiobook. We've got a large audience that likes to listen to audiobooks, and AGB Productions produces them. So we'd be honored to produce
Mm-hmm.
your book for you. You'd be honored. Well, before we get out of here, I want to introduce you again to our new show that's coming up in just a couple of weeks, A Conversation with Mama. It's going to debut on April 6th, which is a Sunday at 3 p.m. So I'm going to play this video so you'll know what's it all about, and we'll be right back. A Conversation with Mama.
Many will come on this segment and they will come because they need to have a conversation with their mama.
Amen.
A Conversation with Mama is a series of episodes that discuss different topics that are important to you. Standing on God's Word and the Scripture as found in Proverbs 31:26. Now it's time for today's episode of A Conversation with Mama.
Sundays at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, we get to watch a brand new show, Avalon, Sundays at 3.
All right.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for being my co-producer and my co-host. Thank you for just keeping me on track, Avalon. I love you and I appreciate you, bro. I do.
Love you back.
All right. If it's the Lord's will, we'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. with another episode of Books and Besties. Bye-bye, everybody.
All righty.